Hey, what's going on guys? Captain Vince here and welcome back on the channel. 2 days ago, we were struck with perhaps the most unexpected of news to ever come to flight simulation. Microsoft are launching their new flight simulator in 2020. We have to congratulate Microsoft on their timely announcement, as it was Flight Sim Expo weekend in Orlando, and this announcement surely stole the show. Now, social media is going crazy with this new trailer. The YouTube reveal has now passed the 500,000 views bar, and forums throughout the web are experiencing the flight sim fever as never before. In this video, I would like to provide my input on the announcement. I will start with my own personal thoughts on the overall concept of a new simulator developed in-house by Microsoft. Then, I will briefly comment on the trailer they released on June 9th and try to target key components of that trailer. I will then address some criticism that has been raging on forums and argue that we should rather be optimistic than pessimistic regarding this announcement. Finally, I wish to conclude with my own wish list for this new flight simulator. As most of us know, serious PC flight simulation started with Microsoft's installments. The first of these was in 1982 and was named Microsoft Flight Simulator. Jump ahead 37 years and Microsoft is teasing the community with a brand new take on the genre, conveniently named Microsoft Flight Simulator. The identical names leave me optimistic as to Microsoft's aim with this new release. I do hope they are going back to the roots of the MS Flight Sim project, which in my opinion focused on the simulation aspect of things. I am truly ecstatic that this is a project that Microsoft wanted to delve back into. The fact that its success lies in the hands of a company which has a long-running history with the genre is rather comforting. It is not inevitable that developers who worked on the earlier installments will be called back to bring their knowledge and expertise to this one. We can only imagine that the budget going into this new flight simulation is colossal and inarguably the greatest it has ever been. This is without a doubt a project that has been in the minds of the decision makers at Microsoft for a very long time. Rather than dealing the final blow to flight simulation under Microsoft's umbrella when it was announced that Ace's studio was disbanded, unknowingly to all of us, it marked the start of a brand new effort towards flight simulation, an effort that has without a doubt been going on since then. I do think this flight sim is in good hands at Microsoft, and that we should expect a program that answers the community's outcries while surprising us with awe-inspiring next-generation graphics. And speaking of graphics, we got a taste of what to expect in terms of looks in this minute-and-a-half trailer that was shown at E3 2019. If we believe the opening text, which presents the upcoming footage as real-time 4K footage, then we have all the reasons in the world to be optimistic. The graphics look much more like those of a game that is set in this decade and perhaps even the one after that. Photorealism is the word that comes to my mind when witnessing the different scenes. The fact that the graphics seem to be rendered with the cooperation of satellite data and Microsoft's Azure AI, which is their cloud computing solution, is to me a testimony of what we can expect in terms of terrain and city rendering, as well as weather and sky textures. If my understanding is correct, Azure AI promises the delivery of outstanding graphics with minimal performance hit, since the power should be shared by the user's computer and Microsoft's powerful cloud motor. Of course, E3 footage is known to be somewhat embellished, but I strongly believe that even if embellished, the footage shown during the trailer gives us a sense of what to expect in terms of the sim's maximum capacities. We also got a first look at some of the planes that should come default with the new sim. There is the Diamond 42, Pilatus PC-12, Airbus A320, a bush plane that I couldn't quite recognize, a Cessna 172 glass cockpit on approach at night, what looks like a TBM 930 And finally, a Piper Cub. I might be forgetting a few planes, but I think this is pretty much what we got to take a look at. This is already a fantastic range, and I'm sure we can expect a few more default models like a Boeing or two. So it does look like we are going to receive a game that is much more GPU reliant, which is fantastic news as well. A balanced approach to performance is what this community needs, so it can finally reap the fruits of all the expensive systems it has built over the years to cope with the poor optimization of flight simulators. My wish list for this new Microsoft Flight Simulator pretty much expands on what I have just said. My first wish, which has pretty much already been answered, is to have a new graphics engine running the show, and at the same time a optimal optimization of today's PCs. My second wish is absolutely crucial to me to make this a successful and perennial flight sim. It is the wish for a strong and anchored collaboration between Microsoft and third-party developers who possess a truly mind-blowing amount of knowledge and know-how that Microsoft alone couldn't hope to reproduce. These are aircraft developers, scenery developers, utility developers, and much more. A usable SDK that preferably makes for a smooth transition for devs is, to me, quite vital. My third wish is for a complete global base game that right off the bat offers an enjoyable experience. I do not wish for a business model based on add-ons that are necessary purchase to make the experience a good one. I want a game that is already standing on rock-solid foundations and that will only benefit from add-ons carefully and with passion developed by experienced professionals. Finally, but the most important of all, I wish for this Microsoft Flight Simulator to have passionate flight simmers at the helm of the project. Of course, there is an important financial aspect for Microsoft, and we might have to expect a different retribution method than a one-off base price, like a subscription-based price, especially as it integrates satellite services and cloud computing. But it has to always have in mind the simulation aspect first. I would now like to answer three main criticisms that I have been reading about the announcement. The first is a great skepticism regarding the platforms that Microsoft Flight Simulator will be playable on. It is planned on both PC and Xbox, and this has some people going on about how arcadey the simulator will be, since it will be available on Xbox, which is a console. We have to keep in mind that not only Microsoft announced Flight Simulator at E3, but they also announced their new Xbox, for now called Project Scarlet. The new system will be incredibly powerful, and I wouldn't be surprised if it could run all the calculations needed for an in-depth simulation experience. I do believe that the graphics for Xbox will be untweakable, and that this will be putting a higher constraint level on developers to also produce suitable add-ons for Xbox's capabilities, but I do not think for 1 second that it definitely removes the simulation aspect out of the game. Next, I have heard that we should expect something that is akin to what Microsoft Flight was. My answer will be very brief. This time, Microsoft called their new iteration a flight simulator. It's in the name, which already connotates the upcoming game with a much more serious tone. Finally, I have read many times that this will ring the end of many amazing developers. Although I do believe some global landscapes and mesh developers will be badly hit by this new iteration, it still leaves the door wide open to aircraft devs who will be reselling their products and developing new products on this platform, with hopefully a smooth SDK transition for them, as well as airport scenery devs that will still have a tremendous amount of work to do, as surely Microsoft won't develop a ton of airports in-house other than major city airports. Again, if this is to work, the closest of collaboration with developers is a crucial step for Microsoft to take. So these are my thoughts about this exciting announcement. I am truly looking forward to knowing more about this project. This doesn't mean that we are dropping P3D or Explain, at least for the year to come. It simply means that if Microsoft has really thought well about who they need to please in order to make this a success, we will soon be looking at a brand new platform to roam the skies and the taxiways. Alright guys, until next time, if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.